Hello, this is going to be a quick tutorial to show you how to use my asset to make a simple pet for your world in Horizon Worlds. So we're going to hop over to Horizon Worlds here, and if you type simple pet asset and then drag that into the scene, a little bit to load, then this should just work. You'll have a pet over here, he'll follow you around. If you jump on these boxes, it changes between a pet, a pig, a fox and a wolf. And then there's some information here on how to change some stuff. The pet will follow you around, and then when it gets to you, it stops and it looks at you. So by default, all of the parts are visible here, but they get turned off later depending on which pet you've selected. In here, if we expand the pet holder, you'll see a bunch of empty objects that kind of contain arms and legs. What's that, the head holder? So if you want to change out what type of pet you've got, you can export each individual body part here, but I'll show that in a minute. We select the pet holder here and select that, and then go down to the inspector. Here's all the empty objects and some things you can play around with. So we've got the follow range. So if you up that, it will stop further away from you. If you move it closer, it will stop closer to you. Head follow range, this is a different number so that you can be standing near it and it's still watching you, but it's not following you yet. You can change the movement speed, you can change the stop range. For now, you probably want to ignore the state because that happens automatically, just switches between 0 and 1. But if you ever wanted to expand this, you could add more stuff in the state machine there. And then the animation walk speed, I think that controls the amount of wiggle that the limbs have. So this is what you want, all the parts you want if you want to make your own animal. So you need a head, you need a body, you need legs. Sometimes you can get away with mirroring them, and you'll need a tail. You don't need a tail, but it's cool to have a tail. There's no code for the tail animating yet, but for this tutorial I'm going to make a robot dog and we'll show you how to export this. So I'm probably using an older version of Blender than used, but you should be able to follow along with this. So just put all your objects to the origin and export them as an FBX. So export FBX, and then make sure selected objects is on. Oh, I did forget, another thing you will need is eyelids, and these should go so that they can cover over the eyes. So in the case of this robot dog, they're going to look something like this, because I want them to look like a little LED screen, and they'll just be turned on and off and it'll blink. So once you've exported all those parts, that's the body, the eyelids, the head, the legs and the tail, you want to go back into here and do make sure you're on assets, and then you might need to be in your assets as well rather than gen assets. No, it still pops up, and then you press 3D model and then you choose your location. Mine's around here. I think you can do all these at once. They'll all pop up, and then press import. You can assign a material in Blender and make it like import the images on the same step, but I like to do it this way, and then you've got more control afterwards. It's not kind of linked to that object. So next thing we're going to do is drag in one of those assets. As I said before, if I'm going to do it this way, I have the texture in here. I think it's called RoboDog. There it is. So once your texture is loaded, you can click your object and then come over to texture asset, and then this again takes a wee bit to load, but you can click in and it should load in the thing. Let's just load in all the bits right now, and we'll change all the textures too. Okay, so now all the objects are in. We want to replace the objects here. The way it's set up right now, you've only got 3 slots called fox, pig and wolf. So we want to like pick one of those to overwrite right now. I am going to go with Fox, since Fox is already not in this visible stack. So if we select this and then we press the plus button and just type Fox on all of these items, you can use you can change the script to change this and make it less hard-coded to these types of animals. But the end user won't see this anyway, so you can just go ahead with this. And then the eyelids as well. Yep, the next thing you'll want to do is make sure that all of these are non-collidable, because these are just art assets, they don't need to be collidable. So just go in here and over in the inspector, make sure collidable is turned off on all of them. There we go. Collidable. So yeah, we want to replace the body here. So let's go over here and find the body holder. It should say head holder, body holder is the kind of parent one. So we want to parent this new object under here. So we just click and drag it, bring it up to body holder, and then zero out the position. Yep. And the rotation is wrong as well, so we want to change that back to 0. That should put it the right way. I'm just going to go in here and turn off some of these other objects at the moment, just because it makes it easier to line stuff up. We can just go ahead and turn off the visibility on all of these things. Next, we'll do the same with the head. We'll grab the head and we will put it under head holder. We're going to have to zero that out as well. 0, 0, 0. 0 on the rotation, so it's the right way. Oh, that one didn't go 0. But on this one, it's in the wrong place, kind of. We want to basically change the shape of the character that we're using here. So that's why I parented everything under these empties. So if we click the head, we can use this empty to move it up here. This is also the rotation point of the head. So we want to put that kind of in the collar area here, and then you can readjust the robot dog head to be in the right place. Just in case you put the rotation point in the wrong place in Blender, you can fix it here. Again, I've just brought the eyelids in, and these were in a different place, so I need to manually just overlay them so that they look like they're going to work. And then when that runs, that should be fine. Also note that by doing this, like the current system, your pets all need to have exactly the same arrangement of limbs. I'm going to try to make a slightly longer dog here just to show how that works. But yeah, at the moment, they all need to be the same proportions. So now we're onto the legs, and we need to duplicate this 4 times, but we'll start just on one of these legs. We bring it in here, again we zero everything out. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now that leg should be the right way, and it is technically where the old one was, which might be a little bit too far back. So we're going to select both of the front legs, so that makes the empty visible, and then you're going to move them forward. Again, I think the rotation point is from the center of the empty, so we kind of want it to be up here, and then we will move RoboDog leg to be around here too. This is much less precise than I'd like it to be, but it should work for now. We'll do the same with, oh, I duplicated the wrong thing there. If we go into the leg that we've got selected, select RoboDog, we should be able to duplicate that. It'll create it in there, and then we can move it over to front left, and then we'll just need to, do we need to zero out? Actually, in this case, we'll need to move this leg to be, it is already the same place. Okay, because I moved them both at the same time. Yeah, here we'll need to move this one to be 0, potentially. Nope, that's front right. We want front left. I think it's that one though. You get the idea. You need to get it in the right place. Make sure that the empties are in the rotation points and that your joints where you're going to move are in the middle of the empties. So I'll do the same again here with the back legs. I'll duplicate RoboDog leg and move it down to the back leg and then 0 out one of these. Maybe this one. Yep, that one. So it's in the same bit there, but we probably do want it moved further back that way. So again, we select both leg containers and move it back. Now here we get an issue that the pivot point looks like it's down here, but the art is up there, and if we move it, we'll need to readjust it. So for this, I would move the leg out just into any random place, select these two, and then move them up to the similar rotation point as these, and then grab it and throw it back in underneath there. And same again, we'll put that down in there, and then we'll need to 0 out one of these axes. I think it might be that one. It is not that one. Maybe this one. It's not that one either. Maybe I've put that in the wrong place. Anyway, you get the idea here. So now to make that work and it not show the fox and the dog at the same time, which it will do right now, if we, and you see what it did to the pig as well. It does look weird, but it's not what we want. We want to turn the fox off. Yeah, so in this case, because we already turned stuff off with that script, we will need to delete the fox geometry. Now the fox geometry in this one is just called tail. It was the first one I made, so I might rename that to be easier. Okay, we just came across a thing that I suspected might happen, but hadn't happened yet. Because this is an asset, you need to right click up here and go unlink instance and root and children, and then that makes it so that you can delete stuff. So we can go in here now and delete the tail. There we go. So yeah, I've gone in and deleted it. Let's check to see if it works. Piggy's definitely broken. But robot dog, I didn't do the body, but there we go. There's another problem here that the height is the wrong height now, so we can change that now. So the actual collision of the object is defined by this object here called pet collision shape 2. And to change it, you just basically, you'll scale this up. You can move this to be in the same place as this as well, just to get an idea of your size and shape. I think it goes from the center of the body, basically where the center pivot point is. So that something like that might work. I like to keep it back just because it's easier to select. So here's that with the changes I just made. It's still a little bit through the floor, so I'll scale that up a little bit more. So again, I'm just going to scale this up. Maybe a bit that much. Try now, and when we change to the fox, there we go. That seems about right to me. Nope, he's definitely hovering. So a little bit less. And there we go, he's looking good. Another thing you've noticed in here, this just seems to be an editor bug. If you've selected a bunch of stuff, sometimes it leaves the selection around it. It's a bit like gets in the way. If you reload the scene, it should just get rid of that. By that I mean go up to here, return to creator thing, and then just go back into the world. Yep, so that fixed the weird looking selection thing. And this guy follows you around. He's now too big that you can't jump on him because of the collision. Which is kind of cool. Might be quite cool to make it so you can ride on these guys. And again, you can go down here and you can fiddle with like how quick those limbs move, because they did seem pretty quick. What if we bump that down to something like 10 and see how that looks? There we go, he seems slightly more robotic now. So if you want to see this asset in action, you can go to my game Pet Agility. This is also going to be a remix of a world for the contest, the open source contest, so you can grab it and have a look at how it's made and see how the checkpoint system works and that kind of stuff. So here is the agility game. I'm going to go, yeah, let's stay on the pig. So here you need to go through the checkpoints and get all the way to the end. The piggy does follow you around. Here's a little slalom. Oh, went too far. Over the hump. Sometimes you just know that he's following you. Nice little seesaw. We've got some tunnels you can go through. There you go, he's stuck. Oh no, he's there. There is no pathfinding in this. It will get stuck on corners and that kind of thing. Again, we can build it out later, but for now, this is a basic pet asset. We can also jump on top of here and just watch him come out the other side. And then when we get to the end, it should tell us our finish time. That's a pretty good time. Yep, I'm Alistair Lowe from Low Tech Games. Go give this a try. I will see you next time. Bye.